Back to the drawing board. You guys are familiar with that, right?
Yeah.
So if Gary Keller were here, here's how he would start the conversation. He would draw a triangle. And he would write leads, listings, leverage. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. And what comes first?
Leads.
Leads. And I was thinking about this as I was preparing for today's call, and I built a very successful real estate business by focusing on one of these things. Anybody want to guess what it is?
Listing.
Anybody read my book, Rainmaker? What is it about?
Leads.
Leads, and leads, 100%. And then, I was thinking about this, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that that's not really true. I became super laser focused on building a business that was listings leveraged. Lucian, we were talking about this morning, the value of listings. This is where you build your business. And then I thought about it some more, and I realized that as a coach, as a trainer, one of the things that I do is I teach people how to build a real estate business. So I've kind of become an expert on the organizational model in order to build a successful real estate business. So over time, all three have become an area of focus for me. However, today I want to talk to you about the first L in the three L's. And if we looked at a traditional real estate transaction, let's just say that I am a lead and I am in your database. And I closed on a sale today, and the average commission is $10,000. Then the value of that lead today is $10,000. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Right? Now, the average time between home purchases, or the average person moves every 7 to 10 years. The very next day, this is the day I closed, this is the very next day. I'm still in your database. What's the value of that lead?
$9.
Let's just say 0. Okay, fair enough, right? Guys, got like 5 people in the room. Somebody has to talk to me, right? Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you. Now, here's the challenge with most real estate agents. They get a lead right here, and they say, that's a lousy lead. They're just tire kicking. They're not serious. They're not looking to buy. They're not looking to sell. They just called because they wanted to know the price of their neighbor's home. They moved into their home a year ago. It's not a good lead. It's not a good lead. It's really important that you guys hear me on this. Now, maybe the same day, they get a lead right there. What would be their response to that lead? Great lead. Oh my gosh. If you were part of my team and I handed you this lead, you would say, John, that's amazing. Thank you so much. What an amazing lead. And here's what I would tell you guys. They're both worth $10,000. If that's the average commission. If the average commission is 20, they're both worth 20. If it's 30, whatever. If it's 5, it's not the point. The point is both of these leads are worth the same thing. What makes this lead as valuable as this lead is 2 words. Anybody want to take a guess?
Follow up.
Follow up. Thank you for that. 100%. And Everything to the right of this line over here is transaction management. That's what you do in order to get somebody's property under contracts once they hire you to sell their home. It includes putting their home in the MLS. It includes marketing their property to all of the different portals that you market it. It includes doing a mailer to the neighborhood. Everything that you do to get that property under contract or to the closing table is transaction management. It also includes what happens once that property goes under contract. If you're smart, well, all right, well, I already said it. If you're smart, your transaction management activity, once a property gets under contract, is to hand it off to your transaction coordinator. Yes or yes?
Yes.
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 There you go. Now, if everything to the right of that line is transaction management, everything to the left of this line over here is lead generation. Now, what is lead generation? Well, it's 20 conversations. It's not 19, it's not 18, it's not 17, it's 20 because 20 is a standard. It's 20 conversations focused on building your database. In other words, you're adding new people to your database daily because it's a standard. It's 20 conversations focused on getting an appointment. You're meeting face-to-face with one new person every day or 250 over the next year because it's a standard. You're building relationships. You're looking for opportunities. You're asking for referrals. And when you're in lead generation, you're creating leads. And those leads go here in this giant space in the middle. In this giant space in the middle is follow-up. So let's go back to the conversation we were having here. You created a lead. Now that lead may be 3, 4, 5 years away from buying a home, but it's still a lead. And whether or not they work with you or not is going to depend on how well you follow up. How well you follow up is going to depend on whether or not you've got a system, a tool, a database, technology that is allowing you to systematically follow up. Because if you're entering 250 people a year into a follow-up pipeline, and this person is 5 years away from buying a home, well, you've got over 1,000 people that you're following up with. You can't do that using an Excel spreadsheet. You need systems, you need tools, you need technology. So in order to master this game of real estate, I have to master, let's use a new color that's going to show up. I have to master lead generation. I have to master lead follow-up. And I have to master transaction management all at the same time. Now, I do that through training and coaching. I do that through practicing, drilling, rehearsing PDR, the conversations of real estate. And I do that using systems, tools, and technology. I master lead generation by mastering the skills of lead generation, by mastering the conversations of lead generation. And I master lead generation using systems, models, tools, and technology. I master lead follow-up through training and coaching. I master lead follow-up through mastering the conversations of real estate. And I master lead follow-up using systems, models, tools, and technology. And I master transaction management through training and coaching. I master transaction management by mastering the conversations of real estate. And I master transaction management using systems, models, tools, and technology. And the challenge that most real estate agents have is they're trying to do a half a dozen different things. They've got a half a dozen different methods or models that they're following, and they're only following them using half of the recipe versus just focusing on learning how to master baking a pineapple upside down cake. Don't ask me why I picked that. Well, it's pretty good. That's why I picked it. And mastering that recipe versus I'm going to learn how to bake 6 different cakes and I'm only going to put 80% of the ingredients in each of the 6. Well, all 6 of them are going to suck. They're all going to taste awful. I'm going to get bad results from all 6 versus if I were just to focus on one and master that one. Now it's real estate. I would build a masterfully successful real estate business because I'm focusing on the one. I'm mastering lead generation. I'm mastering lead follow-up, and I'm mastering transaction management. It is the key to your success. All right. Talk to me. What'd you hear? Oh, Kina, love your dog. Thank you for having your puppy visit us. What's her name?
His name, Weber. Weber Wesh.
Weber. I've got a Weber grill.
Yeah, just like Weber Grill, but Weber Wesh.
He's looking at the camera. How cute is that?
John, what occurred to me, because I did the Win with Buyers yesterday with Lee. And one of the things I just realized is that the secret sauce is that follow-up, which is the part that is missing. Sorry, he gave you the butt. Sorry. But the secret sauce is in the follow-up. And it became more apparent, even when you were talking now, that if you're bringing in leads, but you're not doing anything about it in between, then that's the secret sauce.
And here it is, Kina, you're 100% right. And here's the reason why that's the secret sauce. Because follow up, I'm not ready yet. Follow up, I'm not ready yet. Follow up, I'm not ready yet. That marker stinks. Follow up, I'm not ready yet. And so on and so on and so on and so on. And anytime in here, we give up because we're not hearing what we want to hear. And the problem is people don't change their mind. They make a new decision based on new information on this day. This is the day they make that new decision. It's typically 7 to 10 days or maybe a couple of weeks away from when they decide to buy or when they decide to sell. And we call this process creating emotional proximity, which simply means, Lucian, that your job is to stay in touch with me until I get ready. The moment I get ready, whoever has done the best job of creating a relationship with me, whoever has done the best job of following up with me is the person I'm going to look for when I get serious. And Kina, that's it. That's why follow-up is so critically important because it's so easy to stop. Your drunk monkey's going to tell you they're not serious, they're not motivated, they're not realistic. And you're going to create all these reasons to stop calling them.
And you lose motivation, I mean, as an agent, if you feel like you're getting no at that time, but that's actually right at the point where you should keep on going.
Yes. And there's one secret to not losing motivation. Guys, please write this down. Don't be attached to the outcome. It's just a conversation. If they say no, who cares? If they say they're not ready, who cares? Take notes, check it off, put it in a follow-up call for a couple of weeks or next month, depending on where you are in the process, but you are completely unattached to the outcome. You are focused on the activity, and that's it. Clarissa.
So I got a couple of things, and you always say the fortunate's in the follow-up. But you talked about mastering. You have to master lead generation, follow-up, and the transaction.
Yep. And
I kind of wrote down a new definition for master to focus and finish.
Focus and finish.
And I'm really good about focusing, but I'm struggling to finish.
I think a lot of people do.
I'm struggling to finish.
Yeah.
This is so much, and it just dawned on me. My finish should be, this is a great, powerful lesson. My finish doesn't necessarily have to be me. We have a tool. It needs to be automated.
There you go. Has to
Put
be.
them on a smart plan.
It has to be automated. You can't do this if it's not automated. If you're lead generating the way you're supposed to lead generate, you're creating so much opportunity that you won't be able to stay in conversation with everybody in that pipeline without a system.
Yeah.
And without a database, without a platform like Command.
Yeah. So as I'm putting in all the people that I've talked with this year, what I need to work on doing is going back, setting them up on a smart plan.
Slow down to speed up. Slow down to speed up. We go so fast that we leave things half done. And how do I know that?
That's not my problem.
How do we know that? How do I know that? Because I do, right? Remember when you were a kid, and maybe you did this, maybe you didn't, but one of my things was building models, right? And we're going back to the 70s now. So that was a long time ago, guys. And you buy these models in the little box and you follow the directions. Or if you're like me, you look at the picture and go, this is probably how it's supposed to happen, because I didn't want to read the directions. But I was really good on getting started. Really good. What I wasn't really good on was finishing. I had all of these cars and trucks and boats and everything else that I was building that were half built. That's as far as they got. All right, give me a couple more ahas. We're going to break for the day.
Everything is out.
Okay. Yeah. It's a choice. Where you take this is 100% your decision. You choose. You choose success. You also choose failure, by the way, which is kind of sad. And most people would argue with me. They'd say, no, you don't, John. And I would say, yeah, you do. Because you're the one who decides when to stop making calls. You're the one who decides when to stop following up. You're the one who decides to judge away opportunity.
John.
All right, guys. Yep, talk to me. Thank you.
One more question before we go. As an agent, we have many models and lots of different systems, and we talk about mastering one. In your opinion, what was the most helpful for you to master first? Is that a question I can ask in regards to models, or is it a good place for an agent if you're starting all over again, meaning a clean slate, not 5 projects and unfinished? Where do you start? To start all over again, to slow down and speed up, like what you just.
I get it. So there's 83 million homeowners in the US. And in 2020, there were roughly 5.2 million homes that were sold. That works out to approximately 6.7% of homeowners moved in 2020. If you rounded this number up to 7 and you looked at everybody that you know, everybody that is part of your sphere of influence, friends, family members, people you know from previous jobs, from the gym that you work out at, from the place that cuts your hair to wherever, everyone you know. And let's just say that you've got 300 people that are in the top of the funnel. They're here. Well, if 6.7% of the population who owns a home moved in 2020, then it stands to reason that 6.7% of your top of the funnel will move in the next 12 months as well. And if we just rounded this up to 7, so the math would be easy, that's 21 closed sales just from the people you know. So where would I start? I would start with my database. I would start with care calls. How are you doing? I appreciate you. How's your family?
Okay.
What are you guys doing for the holidays? What are you doing for fun? I saw that you went on a cruise to the Bahamas. What was your favorite part? If I had a client for you, are you accepting new clients? If I had a referral for you, what's a great email address for me to resend that referral to? You know, by the way, as you know, I am a real estate agent and the market is super hot. Our biggest challenge is there's a lot of people who want to buy and there's very few homes for sale. So we're looking for great homes like yours. And just out of curiosity, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? Now, Kina, if I'm having that conversation with my 300, in a year's time, 21 of them are going to move. Now, whether or not they hire me or they hire someone else is up to me. Because if I'm doing a great job of staying in touch with them and building emotional proximity, building a relationship, bringing value to the conversation, they're going to hire me. Now, those 300 people, do they know other people? Do they have their 300? Yes, they do. And if I'm doing a really good job of creating emotional proximity with them and I'm bringing value to every conversation, I'm someone they want to talk to. And I ask them, just out of curiosity, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? They're going to tell me, well, you know, I was just talking to a buddy at work. He's thinking of selling his house. I'm going to get referrals. So if I were going to bake one cake, that would be it.
Got it. Thank you.
You got it. All right, time to get to work.
Thank you, John.
My pleasure, always. What is work? So today, work is make as many calls as you can. These are care call conversations and wish your friends, your family members, people you know, happy holidays. Let them know that you care about them. Let them know that they're important to you. This one time, I don't want you to ask for a referral. I want this to be 100% about reaching out to people to let them know they're important to you and wish them happy holidays. Find somebody that's not doing so great and pour into them and make their day better. That's what is work for today. Matter of fact, that's what's work until we come back on Monday, because I won't be here for the rest of the week. And I will see everybody Monday morning, 9 a.m., ready to get to work. Make it a great day, everybody.
Happy
Awesome.
holidays.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Happy